Well, good morning. I've got up and drinking some coffee. Thought, well, I'm just gonna share some testimonies today. I have several. I don't know how many I'll share, but I'm gonna share this one with you first. I've got a motorcycle. We was broke down, so we was gonna take it up to the motorcycle dealer, and that's about an hour away. So we was gonna use we did. We used my brother's trailer. And so my nephew, he brings the trailer over, and we had to change the ball on my truck, and it's got one of them slide-in receivers. So I put the receiver, slid it in, and then so that would hold it in place while I used a wrench to change the ball on the receiver. And so then I went ahead and turned it over, stuck it in there, the receiver in there. We hooked up to the trailer, and we loaded up the motorcycle. Just so you know, we loaded it in backwards. I've got a trike. We loaded it in backwards. I think it's a 14-foot trailer. We took the back end to the front. The back end is what weighs the most on this trike. So me and my brother would get ready to go, and we got about, didn't get very far. I don't think we even got a quarter of a mile from the house, and the trailer disconnected from the truck. It pulled that receiver out because I had forgot to put the pin in the receiver. He pulled it out, and then I put on the brakes, so the trailer's completely loose from the truck. It broke the safety chains, and then I put on the brakes on the truck, so my truck kind of stopped it. But we was only going maybe 10 miles an hour when I realized it came off, and I put on the brakes, and we stopped it. And it didn't do any damage to anything. It scratched my bumper just a little bit. Can't hardly even tell it. But anyway, when I put on the brakes, the trailer tongue slid up under the back end of my truck, and it's got a handle that sticks up that you crank to crank it up off the truck. That handle went up underneath my truck, and in order to get this handle out from under my truck, we had to jack the truck up. And my truck was, the handle was in front of my back bumper instead of behind my back bumper, and we had to jack the truck up about that high to get that crank out from underneath my truck. And so we jacked the truck up that high, and there was no way of moving the trailer. Now, you can't move the truck because the truck's jacked in the air. So we had no way of moving the trailer. So my brother, he went up towards the front of the truck, and he was calling my cousin who lived right there to bring his tractor to pull the trailer out from underneath my truck. While he was up there talking to my cousin, I prayed, Lord. First I pushed, see if I can push it back. He couldn't budge this thing. It was way too heavy. I said, Lord, could you just give me the strength of about 10 men? All I'm saying is, when I pushed on that trailer, it went back. Now, I got it back far enough, but I'd like to have got it a couple more inches. I could have got it where it was, but it'd been better if it was a couple more inches. And so I thought I can get it back a couple more inches. I sat on the back bumper and pushed with my feet, so I was using my leg muscles to push. I got a lot of strength that way. Couldn't budge it. I said, Lord, could you give me that strength again? And I pushed it up that other 2 inches. Now my brother came around from the front of the truck back to the back of the truck, and he looked surprised. He goes, how did you move that trailer? Now, my brother has trouble believing these kind of things. I said, well, now I just prayed to Jesus, give me about strength of about 10 men, and I just pushed it backwards. Oh, he said, get out of here. You didn't do that. Get out of here. I know you didn't do that. So I said, Jesus, give me strength of about 10 men so that I can push this trailer out from under there. And I pushed it out from under there. And I told him, he says, you must have put your setup on the back of the truck and pushed backwards. I said, well, now it went back, but I needed about 2 more inches. I set up on the back of the truck and pushed, and I couldn't budge it. And I said, Lord, could you give me that strength again? Lord, give me that strength. And I pushed the other 2 inches. He says, get out of here. Just get out of here. So nothing more was said about it. We jacked the trailer up, and I put a pin in the hitch, and we loaded it all back up and took it down to Lafayette. Little did I know, we didn't talk about it no more, but he thought about that all day long. Towards the end of the day, he said to me, he says, you know, I know what happened with that trailer. I said, what do you mean? He says, how you was able to move it like that. And I said, oh yeah, what happened that I was able to move it like that? He said most of the weight was in the back, so it kind of balanced that tongue from being, you know, the tongue was right down on the pavement. It was down on the pavement. It wasn't like pushing something on 2 tires. The front of the tongue was down on the pavement. He says most of the weight must have been in the back. Most of the weight was not in the back. We had the front of the, you know, we had it loaded clear to the front. Most of the weight was in the front. But I wasn't going to argue with him. I said, well, you know, I don't think so, but anyway, I just let it go at that. But I kept thinking, we ought to have us a reenactment out here in my driveway. Just lower that trailer, load up the motorcycle. I mean, this motorcycle weighs about 1,000 pounds. Load that thing up, and then set the tongue of the trailer down on the blacktop and see who can push it. But I never did. But anyway, I just wanted to share that with you. Now, whether it was a coincidence or whether it's for real, I don't know. All I know is how I prayed, and I know that trailer was really easy to move. And a few days after that, I'm just going to throw this in because this is just a short little testimony. It could be coincidence, I don't know. I'm just going to throw this into this one rather than to make a whole nother video. But I was moving a fence in my backyard for the dogs, and had this metal fence post down in the ground, and I was pulling him up my hand. Now I didn't drive him down in there too far because it was a temporary fence just for the dogs. So you know, you usually just wiggle the post a little bit back and forth and you can pull it up out of the ground. Well, I had one that I couldn't get pulled up out of the ground. It was just too tight. I pulled and pulled and pulled, and I couldn't pull it out of the ground. My wife was standing there. I said, Lord Jesus, give me the strength to pull this out of the ground. I'm not joking. I didn't even strain. I grabbed hold of it and just set it out of there. Now, maybe it's a coincidence. Maybe I had it all loosened up and it was ready to go. I don't know. But I'm just saying what happened. But now on that trailer incident, I will say this. The next day, my muscles were all like drained, like I did a heavy workout, like I'd worked hard all day or something. And I got to thinking, it's probably from all that strength of 10 men that those were my muscles I was using. Maybe that just really wore my muscles out. I don't know. But I believe that Jesus gave me the strength of 10 men so I can move that trailer. So we're just going to leave it at that. Thank you.